Okay, so we're here for my birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Say.
And we are so excited to be visiting some female-owned wineries. And we just wanted to talk about who you are, what you do, and hear your story.
Yeah, so Julie, if you could introduce yourself a little bit about personally and professionally, how you came to be here in Napa and how you started this beautiful winery.
Well, thank you. Actually, my story is all about love and osmosis.
All right.
Because I met a winemaker. I'm from California, but I met a winemaker back east. And then we moved back here in 1980.
Okay.
And so everything I've learned about wine has all been a result of love, right?
Oh,
But this is such a vibrant community. It's such a teaching community. And some of my first mentors were women. And this community started in 1981.
I would not have expected that.
So it was, yes, it's a male, pretty much still a male-centric business, but there are a lot of women who are coming up through viticulture, taking over roles that have been occupied by older people. This is actually, believe it or not, despite me, a really young business. But it's a long-term business. And so supply is a big part of it.
Okay.
I have learned through the ropes. I had the great opportunity to, with my first husband, purchase this property, which is about 35 acres, about 12 grapes. Purchased this property for our first winery called Frost, which we established by selling our motors.
Okay. Oh, love that story.
That was our only worldly asset. So it
What kind of motorcycle?
That's what it's going to ask.
Mazda and ES BMW.
Ooh, that's nice. Okay. I was like, what kind of motorcycle was this? Okay.
Start a wine. But having purchased this property full of Zinfandel, we planted some Cabernet Sauvignon, of course, because it's Rutherford in the Napa Valley, But then I've got incredible natural resources here. Olive oil, olive trees from the 18th.
Olive oil.
It's
delicious.
It's so much fun to have. We have too many pomegranates.
Yeah.
And a lot of lemons and way too many sheep and dogs right now. And it is regeneratively farmed, and it's been something that I've been doing over the years. When I started Tres Sabores in 1999, it was also love and osmosis, but it was about the three flavors.
Hang on, let's tell us. So
the three flavors in every glass of wine: the vine and the terroir, the place those vines are grown, and then really the good company around the glass. We should be toasted.
We should be toasted.
But it also, the name Tres Sabores also comes from a beautiful old song, Sabor a mi, my taste, my flavor. It's a passionate song. I discovered just how passionate now that I've been using this name for all 25 years, but people get married to it. People will dance to it.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I really was looking for that name was that I wanted to pay homage to the people there have been many cultures who have come through the Napa Valley, but especially the modern cultures, the Latin people who have come from various areas of Latin, Central, and Southern South America to, in a very skilled way, tend our grapes, prune our grapes, pick our grapes, work with us and with all of us, with all of the community to build what we've created here in Napa and other places.
I think it's beautiful.
So what you've done is so inspiring. Well,
but there are so much evidence of indigenous people here too. We still find chips of arrowhead, and so on. So it's been a really beautiful place to learn to make wine. At first, I did sales and marketing, and then in the last 25 years, I've again the osmosis factor. Learned about wine and winemaking, and so now we're making a variety of things. Not only Zinfandel from here and Cabernet, but also really adventure wines. You had some grown.
Yeah,
we did.
Yes, or Barbera from this.
That's my favorite.
Well, this is so versatile. I just want to carry around a package of pasta and tomato sauce and my training everybody provolone, because that's just like the best. Isn't that,
It's
isn't
so
that just
good.
kind
It
of
is.
Yeah.
It does.
kind of a cold weather, homey kind of
Yeah, it's
It's cool. It brings people together too.
and that's the whole idea. I hope
I have a question for you.
yes.
So if there's some woman that's like, I want to be you, what advice would you give as someone that's wants to get into the industry, wants to have what you have today? What should they think about? What should they do?
um associate with other people.
Mm.
Get
Build your
together,
network.
get your friends together get adventure into your several wine merchants, smaller merchants,
Okay.
smaller independent wine shops,
Mm.
because most likely the people who are there will come closer to identify
Okay.
with you
Mm.
and your tastes, and gradually you'll learn. Just march through a lot of different discovery points. Drink wine with people, have get-togethers, gather around to talk about what you like, and come to some sort of feeling about that. There are a lot of professional organizations to join. There's something friends and I started many years ago called Women for Wine Sense,
Oh.
and that's fun. But there are lots of ways to establish a degree, either by in a college, in a university, or in wine spirits education trust, or learning to be a sommelier. Just getting out there, getting a job in a restaurant, getting a job, a part-time job in a store. Go to school for agriculture.
Yeah.
Go to school for viticulture and winemaking.
Okay.
But there should be, and there will be, there are more schools all the time, also that have women who are in the academic side of things, not just students, but now there are more and more women in research, and it's they're hard sciences, but they're especially viticulture. Yeah, that's what really turns me on, and it just keeping the soil healthy, healthy soils, healthy vines, good wine, that all goes together. Plus, talking about supply.
Yep.
We're
You're a little
talking
bit about
about
landscape.
this is pretty key for us, because here at this winery, a regenerative organic winery, we're trying to do the best things we can, but we're still using a glass bottle, but this is one of the lighter bottles. We have choices. And
Interesting.
we have choices.
Okay.
You won't find a bottle that they're heavy and
I know.
but
I was like,
they're heavy enough.
We have the wine inflammation.
So a number of people, Chances Robinson from the UK, people are on this whole surge of use lighter bottles, cost less to produce, cost less to transport.
Yes.
It can be recycled. We don't use capsules because that's another resource that I don't want to exploit. And these bottles like this are much easier to recycle.
Good to know.
But we do also, speaking of recycling, we use natural cork.
Okay,
And
so what is natural cork?
Well,
What does
it
that
just means
actually
it's
mean?
really cork.
Okay.
It's really out of the bark of a cork tree.
Okay.
And some of the forests where these
Can I ask a question? So do most people not use natural?
no, there's a whole range out there of
Okay.
closures. But I love it because it takes a little while to pop it out of the bottle. It gives you a little time.
Oh,
it gives you
drama.
time. But it's also cork trees are part of an ecosystem. And when you're in Portugal, you see cork trees and you see an incredible ecosystem that might be 200 or 300 years old.
Wow.
And so it's a living, sustaining, it's really splendidly diverse kind of area. And all of the carbon and everything that is sequestered from this, it can be thrown in your garden, or it can go to one of the collection points that are around. A lot of bigger wine merchants, Whole Foods and things have collections for these. In the process of making cork, the factories don't miss anything. So bits of cork pieces that do not look like this are ground down into making shoes, into making insulation for space capsules, into making floors. So it's a very wise industry that's trying very hard to be sustainable and so I mean it's great. And plus I love working with cork. It's a natural material and it feels good. You see it as light. You can do cork tricks and I love that sort of things like that. But that's a little bit about our supply side, and we do source most of the things that we use to bottle are sourced internationally. So
Okay.
that's an interesting inflection point right
Yeah.
now too. But
Yeah, I'm sure.
but it's it's something that you learn about and try to organize. That's a good part of my job. It's organizing where I'm getting the grapes if I'm not growing in here. Obviously, how I make the wine, which is a thrilling thing that happens every year. But really, in one way, you're making wine all year round because you're always wine is vibrant, and even when it goes in the bottle, it still is changing and moving, which is why it's fun to taste wine. For me, I love fresh foods, so fresh wines.
Yeah.
Great. But then sometimes it's fun to like, oh, I had that bottle for a while. I wonder what that tastes like. So for me, especially when you guys come here, I just hope that you felt like you've been invited to discover something.
It has been lovely. Okay, so was that one last question? What, as you've gone through this journey, right, and you've started your own winery and everything else, was there any advice that was given to you earlier on that still sticks with you today?
Yeah, very much so. Be yourself. So, and I think this is proven now true in, we come from pretty humble, humble origins, and we live in a beautiful place. And so, the chairs may not all match, but we're trying to do things authentically. We've been farming organically as long as anyone in this area. And so that feels authentic and that feels right. When our kids were here, our sort of old sage, organic sage, that was the other, I guess, besides being authentic, practice what you're preaching. Bring in the bluebird boxes, try to source light bottles, plant cover crop and natural plants that bring in native birds and that bring in native insects so that the system works. So, and you know what? People told me it's like if you plant it or if you put a bluebird box out there with it, they will come. And that's true. So the system does work. If you just give it a chance.
Okay.
Love that. So that's a bunch of things.
I like them all. Take them all. We'll take them all.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking me to talk with you.